Hey there everybody, so my name is Alyssa Sotelo and I am back with Save the Storks, and today we are not just going to be talking about mothers, which is what we usually talk about. We usually talk about mothers and pregnancies and the beauty of choosing life for your baby. But today we are going to be focusing on dads, because today is our Father's Day special. My knowledge is limited because I am not a father, so I thought that it would be most helpful if I brought on somebody who actually did know something about fatherhood. So I am going to be talking today with JP. JP is the pastor of my church and also the host of the Becoming Something podcast. We are so excited to have him on, so let's get started. So this is my pastor, JP, and JP is on today to talk to us a little bit about fatherhood. JP, thank you so much for joining us.
It's an important topic.
Yeah, would you mind introducing yourself a little bit? Just tell us what you do.
Yeah, so JP, Jonathan Pokluda, and I am a pastor at Harris Creek Baptist Church here in Waco. We moved from Dallas 5 years ago. I pastored a church there called Watermark, and was involved in a ministry for a little over a decade called The Porch.
And can you tell me a little bit about your family? I know you have kids and a wife, so I'd love to hear more about that.
So Monica, my wife, and I have been married for 20 years, and we have 3 kids. Weston is 11, Finley is 15, and Presley's 17.
Looking back, I mean, your kids are pretty grown now. What is one piece of advice you would have wanted to know?
Here's what I would say. I did not want to be a dad. And so I felt like Monica and I were in hostage negotiations, because every day we woke up without kids, it felt like she was sad, and it felt like I had one way out, is I just had to cave and have a kid. Then we had a kid, Presley, and our oldest, when she was a baby, she was so hard, and we hardly slept for 9 months. And so that just felt affirming to me that why I didn't want to be a dad. And then I would tell you, she became the greatest blessing in my life. And as she's grown up, like she's on a mission trip right now in the Dominican Republic, and by the grace of God, all 3 of our kids love Jesus, and they have become, in a lot of ways, so much of our life, and not in a like, hey, our whole world revolves around them, but they have been a tremendous source of joy. And so I wish somebody would have helped me understand that fatherhood is a blessing. Psalm 127 says, "Blessed is a man whose quiver is full of children." And so I think we have to, as followers of Jesus, people will say, well, can I stop having kids? What does it look like? How many children should I have? And I'd say you have to see children as a blessing. That's how God sees them. That's what He says is true about them. And so as we follow Jesus, we must see children as a blessing.
Wow, that's huge. That's amazing. I didn't know you had that perspective whenever you first became a dad either, so that's really encouraging. I feel like even just as someone who's not a parent yet, to know that there are so many different emotions that you can feel at the beginning of your parenthood journey, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be a parent just because you feel those feelings. What would you say to someone who isn't sure about being a parent, is even thinking of ending the pregnancy?
Here's what I would say to somebody who is considering terminating the pregnancy. I, my wife, someone from our church will gladly raise your child. You can bring them to us. We will support you before birth and after birth. We want to put our actions and our money and our resources where our mouth is. We will do whatever we can, whatever is available to us, to prevent you from making that decision, because I want you to know that God, before the creation of the world, knew that you would be pregnant right now. And while there may have been many mistakes that led to this pregnancy, the pregnancy in and of itself is not a mistake. It was God's plan before the creation of the world. And that child inside your womb may be the one who cures cancer. It may be the next child prodigy, may be a missionary that leads millions of people into salvation in Jesus Christ. We have no idea what God has for them, but we do know that He's numbered the hairs on their head. He knows that He's numbered their days, that they would be full and many. And so I pray that your child would live a prosperous, full life and die of old age. And if you're like, I can't do this, lean on your local church or move to Waco, and we will help you, and we will do whatever we can to help you in this. But the timing is not convenient. There is no convenient time to have a kid. It's always an interruption of sorts, and becomes the greatest blessing. And I've never in my I've done ministry for 17 years. I've never met someone who had a child and regretted it. And I have counseled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of women and men who've terminated a pregnancy and regretted it. Every single one of them. And I've never met someone who had a child and regretted it. I've never counseled someone who said, gosh, I wish I would have terminated this pregnancy.
Absolutely. At Save the Storks, we hear stories of hope every single day. We have our mobile medical clinics that are around the entire United States. I just can't even get into like how many lives have been changed just by hearing a heartbeat of their baby. And there are more resources that Save the Storks has to offer you guys if you are in a crisis pregnancy, no matter where you are in the United States. Check out our website. We want to help you. And dads, we also have a program for you guys, Dare to be a Dad. That is on our website as well. Please go check it out. Thanks, you guys. JP, thank you again for coming on the show.
It's a joy. Happy Father's Day.